Billy Butcher, Huey, and the boys are back, baby. Today's video, or podcast, depends on how you're listening, is, I dug into The Boys Season 2 today, and I was a huge fan of the first season of The Boys, based on a graphic novel. A lot of people probably don't even know that, but I've never read the graphic novel, so this series is my only experience with these characters, and I've really liked it. I really liked how they put this kind of diabolical spin, almost more realistic spin on what it would be like if superheroes, powered individuals really existed. If you haven't watched The Boys, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. If you're into superhero genre, you know, TV series or movies, if you're a fan of the MCU, if you're a fan of the DC films, I think you gotta dig into The Boys. It is a completely different taste of the comic book superhero genre. It will surprise you if you're not accustomed to it. Anyway, huge fan of Season 1. I don't think I ever did a review of Season 1 on my channel, but I did do a podcast back when my buddy Justin and I had a podcast called the Pod Shit Nerdcast. If you want to look that up, we did a whole episode reviewing Season 1 of The Boys. And I believe I watched it twice, like back to back. That's how much I enjoyed it. So I was really eager for Season 2 to drop, and I believe it just dropped today, like midnight last night. And I finally got to dig into it this evening while I was on a break at work, and I gotta say, it's the same old show. I'm loving it so far. I've watched almost the first 2 episodes. So they dropped 3 episodes to start off, and then they're going to go week by week, which is different from what they did the first season. The first season, they dropped all of the episodes all at once, much like Netflix does, so that you could binge the entire series. This time, they're going to dole it out little by little. But they did drop the first 3, and then the rest will follow. I think it's every Friday they're going to release 1 new episode. I haven't looked into it. I don't know if they're going to do 8 episodes. I think last season was 8 episodes, and this season maybe the same, or maybe 10. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. But I just wanted to talk about how much I'm enjoying it. I really love that. For one, I thought it was cool that they brought back A-Train, because I thought A-Train was going to be gone. Spoilers, sorry. If you haven't dug into it yet, there will be a few spoilers for Season 2 here, so don't listen any further if that bothers you. Another thing that I really enjoy is I was a huge fan of the character The Deep from the first season. I thought his character and his arc was absolutely hilarious, and like every scene where he's on screen is just like, I'm captivated, man. I love it. It's almost always funny. It's always at least entertaining, and it's just a wild ride. I love that they keep following him, even though he's not really a part of the main storyline, but they keep following, and I don't know if he will weave his way back in. I'm really not sure. Like, they make it seem like it's possible, right? But I don't know if it ever will happen, or if they'll just continue to follow his little arc, and it'll almost be like the extra comic relief of the series. But I love it. I love his arc. I love his falling out with the Seven. I love that it keeps following him through his, like, now he's coming to terms with who he is and his shame for his gills, and you know, it's fucking hilarious. I love The Deep. I think he's one of the greatest characters. Yeah. Everything else is pretty much the same. They haven't gotten into anything super crazy yet. Season's just starting off, but it's like Starlight is still working with Huey, kind of behind the scenes, even though they had a bit of a falling out towards the end of last season. They're working on getting some Compound V and releasing it to the public. They want to break the story, right? Because as of right now, the FDA is aware, the government is kind of aware of Compound V, but it hasn't been released to the public. The public has no idea about the superheroes have been created. They weren't born this way. They were actually created at birth through, genetic manipulation by the government. By a pharmaceutical company. So the company Vought, who everyone thinks is like the superhero company, the company that represents the superheroes, the Seven, are actually a giant pharmaceutical company. That's who they really are at heart. And it's their Compound V that created all these superheroes. And so now in season 2, we're finding out, we're finding out who knows and who doesn't know about Homelander purposely stealing Compound V and taking it to all these Middle Eastern countries and different countries around the world to create super terrorists in order to have villains for them to fight. So they are now, at the beginning of this season, last season they were trying to get the Seven, into the United States military. There was like a big law saying that they could not be part of the military, but they wanted to make it happen. Everyone was trying to make it happen. Homelander figures out a way to make that happen. He's like, we'll create super terrorists, and then they will have no choice but to let the supes into the military to help fight the threat. So this season, we find out that the CEO of Vought, who is played by the guy who plays Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, still just as diabolical as ever, still just as soft-spoken but scary as hell. I love that dude. But yeah, it's the same show, man, and I'm so glad that it is, because everything was perfect about the first season. Everything was so great, and I love that they didn't try to change anything about it. Like, it's still the same damn show. And I think it's cool, like I said, that A-Train is back. He was like an annoying character, but at the same time, it's like, it's fun to watch him. It's funny to watch him. It's entertaining to watch him. I like the character of A-Train. He's like a completely self-absorbed asshole, but I don't know. I love that about this series, that the superheroes, for the most part, are just complete fucking narcissistic assholes. And I think in real life, that's how it would be if we had superpowered people, these people with ultimate power that, mere humans wouldn't stand a chance against. Yeah, they'd probably just do whatever the hell they wanted, right? So, anyway, so far, I'm completely happy with season 2. Absolutely thrilled that The Boys is back. And I can't wait to dig into the rest of the season. I cannot wait. And I don't know if I'm going to, if I'll break down every single episode, which I might do. I might just weekly make that a part of my cast. Is, every Friday will be the Boys show for the next, 8 to 10 weeks. Maybe that's how I'll work it out. But, or I might just wait till the end of the season and do just kind of like a season 2 review, one long podcast. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop some comments below. Let me know what you think of season 2, what you thought of season 1. What do you think of the whole concept of these kind of dickhead superheroes? I love it. I want to hear what you guys think. If you're listening to this on the podcast, or if you don't even know where the podcast is, hey, let me tell you right now. You can find me on YouTube if you just search Brett Scott. Or you can find me on any podcast app that you listen to podcasts on. Just search for Brett Scott Daily. And I try to post at least once a day on a random topic. I just kind of talk about whatever I'm thinking about that day. Sometimes it's entertainment news. Sometimes it's pop culture. Sometimes it's politics. Sometimes it's just a story from my life, But I try to post once a day. So if you're into that sort of thing, subscribe for more. Follow the podcast. favorite the podcast, whatever it is, whatever it's called on your podcast app. And if you decide to subscribe or follow or favorite, then I'll talk to you again tomorrow.